Hello everyone, welcome to Legacy IAS Academy. In this video, we will be discussing an interesting topic, that is microplastics. Okay, what are microplastics? What are the different types of microplastics and what will be its impact on the environment? Okay, this particular issue becomes important from GS3, that is environmental point of view when it comes to mains, and also the questions on microplastics and biological oxygen demand, chemical oxygen demand can also be asked in preliminary examination. So in order to get the entire information, please watch the video completely. Let's begin. What is the context in which we are discussing this particular issue? See here, microplastics in Kaveri River may be harming fish. Okay, this is a study that was carried out by IAS, Indian Institute of Science. Okay, and this study says the microplastics in Kaveri River might harm the aquatic life. You can also see here in the magazine Down to Earth, you have microplastics detected in the fish samples from Kaveri River. Okay, Kaveri River is really important for the economy of Bangalore, which is the capital city of Karnataka. So, because the entire drinking water requirement of the Bangalore is taken care by the water of Kaveri River. So, this becomes very important. This is also an economic, this has economic importance and also environmental importance. It has economic importance because of the importance associated with the Kaveri River and Bangalore. Okay, let's begin. What do you understand by the term microplastics? You can break the term, that's micro and plastics. You can say that small plastics are called as microplastics, because this is general definition. What's an actual definition is any plastic for that matter, if it is less than 5 millimeter in length, then it is called as microplastic, and this microplastic is hazardous to the ocean and also the aquatic life. There are two classifications of microplastics. One is the primary microplastics and the other one is secondary microplastics. We will see what they mean actually. The primary microplastics include any plastic that is actually manufactured and it is less than 5 millimeter. Okay, it is 5 millimeter in length, less than 5 millimeter in length, and it is manufactured that way. Okay, that is called as primary microplastics. And what is secondary microplastics? Which are broken down from a larger plastic are called as secondary microplastic. You can see here in this image, you will see the hazard that actually the plastic is causing to the aquatic life. Every year, 8 million metric tons of plastic gets into our oceans, that is our aquatic body or aquatic ecosystem as such. 8 million metric tons of plastics are let out every year. 60 to 90% of marine litter is made up of plastics. See, plastics take a long time in order to degenerate or dissolve, or for that matter, plastics take a long time to degenerate because they are inorganic in nature. Plastics are inorganic in nature and they do not disintegrate easily. That is the reason why it remains in the aquatic ecosystem for a long time, and 60 to 90% of the marine litter is composed of plastics. Okay, you can see here the damage that the plastics are causing. Okay, these data becomes important if you want to quote it in the introduction of your answer, or you can quote it even in the essay, then this data becomes really important. Let's see what primary microplastics are. Okay, primary microplastics are small pieces of the plastic that is manufactured and it is less than 5 millimeter. It is called as primary microplastics, and these primary microplastics find application in cosmetics. Okay, in any of the cosmetics that we use, cleaners, cosmetics, this microplastic is widely being used. What is secondary microplastic? Okay, you can deduce the meaning from the word itself, which means secondary. You can see here the plastic bottle is manufactured and after it breaks down into smaller pieces. When a plastic bottle of 1 liter is broken down into small pieces which are less than 5 millimeter, and these plastics that are formed after the big plastic is broken down, then it is called as secondary microplastic. You can see here the clothing over here. Okay, you can see original hygiene products, any plastic product that we use. Okay, small pieces, if it breaks down, and those small pieces, if they are less than 5 millimeter, then they are called as secondary microplastics. Okay, how is it linked to Kaveri River? What happened? See, here you can see the map of Kaveri River. This is the origin. The Kaveri River originates here at a place called Talakaveri. Okay, this is also a part of your geography, drainage system. At this point of time, revise the tributaries of Kaveri River. Okay, if you keep revising like this, and it becomes really easy for you to remember. If you just sit one day and try cramming out or memorizing the tributaries of all important rivers, then trust me, it will not be easy. Okay, now we have got this in use. Know the tributaries, left bank and the right bank tributaries of river Kaveri. Okay, and how is it linked to river Kaveri? You can see here. Nongthamba is actually a scholar, a scientist who is associated with IAS. He conducted the research. And saw that the physical deformities were formed among some of the fishes. Deformities ka matlab some impairments were formed in the fishes. So when he analyzed the parameters of the water, then he found that all other parameters except the dissolved oxygen were hampered. All the other parameters except the dissolved oxygen were hampered. In the first part of the study, the team analyzed physical and chemical properties of water. All parameters were within the prescribed limits except the dissolved oxygen. All the parameters except dissolved oxygen were normal. So what do you mean by dissolved oxygen? Okay. The oxygen which is present in the aquatic form, which when used by the aquatic life, then it is called as dissolved oxygen. In this context, I want you to understand two different terms. One is biological oxygen demand and chemical oxygen demand. What is biological oxygen demand and what is chemical oxygen demand? See here, biological or biochemical oxygen demand is the amount of oxygen that is required by the microorganisms present in the water or in the aquatic life in order to degrade or in order to break down the organic materials present in the water. Simple words, the amount of oxygen required by the microorganisms in the water is called biological or biochemical oxygen demand. So what does it indicate? What will you get to know if I tell you that the biological oxygen demand for this water body is more? Okay, it means the amount of microorganisms in that aquatic ecosystem is more. If the amount of microorganisms are more, then the breakdown is more. If the breakdown is more, okay, then you have more consumption of oxygen, and that is the reason why you will have reduced dissolved oxygen. Okay, that is the reason why you have reduced dissolved oxygen. You can see here the BOD level, biological oxygen demand, if it is between 1 and 2, if it's between 1 and 2 and it is said that the water quality is good, as and when the biological oxygen demand increases, the water quality decreases. Okay, this is an inverse relationship that you have to remember between biological oxygen demand and the water quality. And the next term is chemical oxygen demand, COD, chemical oxygen demand. What is chemical oxygen demand? The amount of oxygen required per million, parts per million, you can also represent it as ppm, parts per million, required to oxidize organic and inorganic compounds. It will also include the amount of oxygen required to oxidize inorganic compounds. So COD will give you a comprehensive or a better measure of the quality of water. Okay, that is the COD and BOD. What are the measures taken by the government in order to reduce this menace of reduction in dissolved oxygen, and also increasing in biological oxygen demand, and the aquatic litter that is being dominated by plastics. What is government doing in this regard? The first thing that the government is doing here in India is, India has pledged to ban all single-use plastics by 2022. Okay, we are in 2022 as of now. By the end of 2022, India has pledged to eliminate all single-use plastics. What do you mean by single-use plastics? This is the plastic that you can use only once. For example, any of the chips that you take, for example, any snacks that you buy from the local shops, and those, the covers or the packets, the packaging material, that is a single-use plastic. Okay, or the water bottle that you purchase, 1 liter water bottle or half a liter water bottle that you purchase, a packaged drinking water, that is a single-used plastic. So by 2022, government would be eliminating the use of single-use plastic. All the offices of central and the state governments and the major PSUs, that is public sector units, have been told to prohibit single-use plastic products. India has banned the import of solid plastic waste, and also India has passed plastic waste management rules of 2016 and introduced something called as extended producer responsibility, and which specific to e-waste management, that is electronic waste. Most of the electronic waste, either it will be plastic or it will be a fiber or it will be silicon. So in order to take the responsibility of the plastic e-waste, the government has come up with plastic waste management rules in the year 2016, and it introduced something called as extended producer responsibility. That's all for today. I hope you have liked the video. For more such enriching content, please subscribe to Legacy IAS Academy. Have a nice day. Thank you.